Hello and welcome to Test Pattern, a podcast about people and their relationship with movies. I'm Angus Truskett, and each episode, I'm joined by someone I admire to talk all things film and get to know them through the movies that have shaped them. Jake Longstreth is a California-based artist whose paintings capture a very specific kind of Americana: empty suburban landscapes, strip malls, chain restaurants, the kinds of places we all recognize but rarely really look at, rendered with this uncanny, hyperreal stillness. While painting is his full-time practice, Jake is also a musician, playing in both Mountain Brews and Richard Pitchers, a Grateful Dead cover band. And he co-hosts the Apple Music internet radio show Time Crisis alongside Ezra Koenig, a cult show whose topics range from classic rock to corporate food history. One of the most recent episodes gets into the career of Tom Schultz and his band Boston and the frankly baffling fact that they're still not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Ever since I first saw Jake's work, I've wanted to talk to him about film because there's something really cinematic about it. Jake, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
It's truly an honor as a TC head and a fan of your art and music in general. But look, first things first, have you seen Baz Luhrmann's epic Elvis Presley live in concert yet?
Not yet. I know this was discussed a few episodes back on Time Crisis. Ezra made a very compelling case that I should go see this in IMAX, but I have not seen it yet. Have you?
I have. I actually, as part of my job, I spoke to Baz about the film, so it was a prerequisite. It was a prerequisite that I see it, and even though it was in a tiny theaterette, I'm sure you've probably been to some early screenings and stuff. Those small theaterettes that studios have.
Sure. Yep.
So it's like 3 rows of chairs, very small.
Oh, that is small. Yeah.
A testament to how good the film was that I was in love with it. Just seeing Elvis blown up on that tiny-ish screen. It's incredible. And I know you're not a Baz fan, and the Australian in me had just had to ask if you'd seen it yet, because he's kind of one of our top 3 auteurs, I would say, at the moment in the film space.
He's Australian, huh? Okay. Who are the other big Australian directors?
I mean, there's so many. I would put George Miller in there, Mad Max.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, there's so many. Gillian Armstrong. I mean, it's a dime a dozen, really, when you put me on the spot like that. Someone like Peter Weir, Truman Show, etc., Master and Commander. But yeah, Baz is certainly an acquired taste, so I understand your reticence to the Baz universe.
Well, he's really obsessed with America, isn't he? Is everything set in America and
I mean, he's got Gatsby.
Yep. The American story.
Yeah, I think he's trying to crack the American dream,
Yeah. Jay Gatsby and Elvis Presley.
I mean, he has a film called Australia, which obviously isn't about America, but it is about the Australian dream, which is kind of a bastardized American dream, I think.
Is there an Australian dream? Is that like a term that's thrown around in the
Absolutely
Australian?
not.
Okay.
No, the closest thing we have to a shared, I guess, thought process, and this is something I actually remember Ezra talking about on the show with you once, is we have this horrible thing called tall poppy syndrome, where we don't really, as a collective, I like to think I'm not a part of this, but we don't really like to see fellow contemporary Australians achieve. We have this chip on our shoulder where the obvious route is for musicians, actors, etc. Hollywood is still where these people want to wind up, working with a global scale. And the moment they jump ship, we have this kind of horrible trait to discount them and go, they're too good for us now. It's terrible. So it's kind of the inverse, I think, of the American dream.
Right. Because there's so many prominent Australians working on American movies. I mean, what is the Australian community's feelings towards Russell Crowe?
We love him.
Yeah, he's one of the greats.
Look, as part of my job, sorry I keep referring to it, I was scheduled for a 10-minute chat with him last year because he was doing promo for Nuremberg, the film that he just released.
I've seen it.
I was the first interview off the cab off the rank. Russell spoke for 45 minutes. I got maybe 4 questions in, and it was just, I clicked. I've worshipped him my whole life. Him winning the Oscar for Gladiator when I was 15 impacted my life in a
Wow.
way that I had to tell him before we recorded. I was like, Russell, you got to know this. I was a kid that grew up in regional Australia, and seeing you on that stage, that just felt like a win for us all. And he is such a good storyteller. Like, we
Mm.
love Russell Crowe, and I'm glad you
Okay.
do too.
I'm glad to hear that. I would hate if he was a victim of tall poppy syndrome.
No, I think we like him because he has attitude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He isn't Hollywood. He still lives in a compound up north in New South Wales, which is
Mm.
on the east coast of Australia. I saw him. You would love this. He's in a band, and he's in a band called the Indoor Garden Party. And he played a show a few nights before Christmas last year, and I took my best friend for his 40th.
Nice.
And it's just Russell Crowe playing like rock covers, and every 3 songs telling a story about like what it was like making Gladiator. And it was without a doubt one of the best nights I've had out. He has like a 15-piece band.
Wow. 15?
It's kind of Elvis Vegas coded. He's not looking, like young Russell, let's just put it that way. But he's got a lot of energy, a lot of stories, and a great sense of humor. And I kind of felt there was a bit of Elvis Vegas going on. It was crazy. He had his ex-wife open for him. That's how weird it was.
That's cool. Wait, so was he doing just vocals or was he playing guitar?
Guitar and vocals, doing stuff like Mustang Sally and just traditionals.
Yeah, like what other covers? Do you remember? Was he doing like Stones and
Yeah, I think there was the Stones. He was weaving in some originals.
As you do.
Which you've got to. But he had me in the palm of his hand.
I love it.
So look, this does feel kind of time crisis adjacent, but I had to ask from one Bob head to another. Have you seen that Bob Dylan has launched a Patreon?
No, I've not seen this.
Okay, so yesterday, 24 hours ago, for $5 a month, Bob Dylan is offering a series called Lectures from the Grave, where, have you seen his Instagram posts where it's just like a 40-minute video of a dead person, a poet, a writer talking?
I haven't seen that. I've seen him post like Machine Gun Kelly and
Oh yeah.
very random clips from movies and stuff.
Yeah, this is like, he's calling it a living archive of lectures from the grave, letters never sent, and original short stories. And for the first, I guess, 3 drops, he's got a late testament of Frank James, a letter from Aaron Burr on the art of survival, and one called The Life and Death of Wild Bill. And it seems to be he's using AI to create voices and have people read letters they're writing to fictional people. It's kind of amazing.
So these are letters that he wrote, and then he's having AI perform.
I think the jury is still out on what it actually is, but they don't
Okay.
seem to be historical artifacts. They seem to be created artifacts.
Yeah, that tracks for Bob. I mean, do you remember in the Rolling Thunder Review documentary, there was like he's weaving in history, like, real history and like amazing footage with these totally tall tales about like Sharon Stone like getting on stage in like 1975 or whatever, or like him going to like a Kiss concert and being inspired by Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley to put on makeup for, really like funny stuff. You're like, what?
It tracks. It totally tracks. I mean, he's never told the truth in his life, essentially. This is kind of, an extension of that. I kind of love to see a Nobel Prize winner do this. I think it's kind of really interesting.
That's funny. I dig it.
So Jake, I got to ask, where did you grow up?
I grew up in a town called Southbury, Connecticut, about 40 minutes north of New Haven.
How long did you live there for?
Till I was 18.
Okay.
I went to college. Then I went to college across the country in Portland, Oregon, and I had a few summers back in Connecticut when I was in college. But I haven't like really lived there since 1995. And my parents don't live there anymore. They left 20 years ago. They live in California too. So I don't have much of a relationship with the state. And none of my family is there and none of my friends are there. So every few years we'll drive, if we're visiting New York, we might drive up north to Massachusetts or Vermont and we'll cut through Connecticut. But I don't have like a strong relationship with the state anymore. It's far. It's far from here.
It's so far. It's literally the other side of the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do any movies remind you of living there? Like something that maybe you played a lot on video, or a film that when you've seen it, it's taken you back to
Yeah.
those places?
There were definitely some movies that my brother and I watched a lot as children on VHS in our old house. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Back to the Future, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Die Hard, Ghostbusters, classic 80s fare. Just those are absolute classics of Gen X or elder millennial childhoods.
Yeah, two is so formative. We had a pirated copy of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It's probably the first film I fell in love with as like a toddler.
Oh, wow.
And for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a cartoon brought to life. And
his house
is incredible. The toys, the magic that Roger Rabbit was also the first movie I was truly obsessed with as a toddler. I think this is crazy. I saw it like 8 times at the cinemas. I just kept asking to see it and see it and see it.
Really? Wow.
That film too has aged so well. I was scared to revisit it.
Yeah, I have not seen Roger Rabbit since the 20th century. It's probably been at least 30, maybe more. So I don't. Yeah, that's actually, yeah, I've seen the other ones more recently in the last. I think I've definitely seen all those other movies within the last like 15 years. But like Roger Rabbit, that one I can't even, as I said it to you, I was like, oh yeah, I kind of pulled that one out of the recesses of my mind because I haven't thought about that movie in forever. So it holds up, you think?
Absolutely. It looks great. It just feels real, despite the fact there's obvious 2D animation. The efforts they went to kind of immerse both worlds. And kind of what I love about it too is it's never been ruined by a shitty sequel. And I think a lot of that actually has to do with how much of a corporate nightmare it was to make the first one, to get like Disney and Warner Brothers to agree to lend their characters to the point where I think it was like Mickey and Bugs, all their kind of trademark characters had to get equal screen time.
I forgot that. See, when you're a kid, you're not aware of this like corporate machinations. But that actually, you're raising a good point. I mean, there must have been. I mean, yeah, now the gridlock would be impossible, but
100%, you couldn't do it.
Yeah, even back then, I'm sure it was a huge headache. It's funny. My grandfather was a entertainment lawyer at Warner Brothers, but that was after his day there. He retired in like 84, 85. So that would have been after his time.
They're probably talking about it, man. It was probably like this. They tried making this movie for years.
Really? I remember too the end when Christopher Lloyd is revealed as like the villain, and he's talking about like building the highway with the cheap motels, and I still remember this from decades ago, and the gas stations and fast food eateries as far as the eye can see.
It kind of sounds like it could have impacted your work.
Yeah, because he wants to build a highway through Toontown, right?
Yeah, it's kind of Chinatown, except instead of water,
funny.
it's public transport. He wants to destroy the street carts.
Right, the electric streetcar in LA. Right. So it is really grounded in like real history. That's interesting.
Yeah. And what's funny, it's still about the corporate machinations. Apparently the thing that stopped it from ever getting a sequel was the theme parks, the Disney parks, because Steven Spielberg, who I guess is like the producer emblem of Roger Rabbit, they could never come to an agreement on Roger Rabbit's appearances in parks, and so it all comes down to that, which is kind of quite dark and kind of almost like the outcome of the film itself. It just becomes about corporate greed.
Right. No one can have it, so I'll just take my toys and go home.
Literally, yeah. But in the upside of that is it hasn't received this kind of gaudy CGI sequel that just kind of would take away from the ingenuity of the first.
Sure. Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
there's a term, there's actually a term from that first film where they call it bumping the light, I think, or bumping the rabbit now, something like that. But basically, a character's head hit a lamp and it swings back and forth. And they wanted the animators wanted to really get the shadows right of the fictional of Roger Rabbit in the background, and it's kind of seamless. You don't notice it when you watch it, but apparently, it's this highest level of lighting achieved from animation that animators still use it today in like short to be like, oh, we gotta bump the rabbit on this one. Like, let's make that look realistic. And I just know if they did a sequel with CG, something, it just wouldn't, that wouldn't be a concern. That kind of ingenuity would go.
Well, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have the flatness of the hand-drawn animation. It would have that sort of rendered 3D kind of humanoid quality that all animated movies have nowadays.
And that's just there's kind of a nastiness to it, a lifelessness. You know what I mean? Like there's no weight almost.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have a 5-year-old daughter. I don't think she's just growing up with this stuff. So it's just, and I'll show her like old stuff sometimes. And I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. Like, I don't think she's like making these aesthetic distinctions quite yet where she's like, or if she ever will, who knows? If she's like, oh, the old hand-drawn cells had so much more life to them. I don't think she'll arrive at that conclusion. I think I'd be surprised if she arrived at that conclusion. She's probably going to always be like, well, the stuff that was new when I was a kid was the best. Just like we all do that.
Is she a Bluey head? Speaking of Australia,
Oh yeah,
Australian content.
yeah, she likes Bluey.
That's one we're very happy about. It's one we love to hear people watching.
Yeah, strong export.
Huge export. And I don't know if you know this, but the father on the show, I don't know the character's name, but he's actually voiced by a famous Australian rock and roll alt lead singer of a band that kind of won a bunch of it, I guess like Grammy equivalents in the 90s, this kind of cult rock band that I'd say is kind of Weezer or Pavement adjacent in sound.
What's the band?
They're called Custard.
Custard, a great 90s rock band name.
Oh yeah. Some of their great albums were We Have the Technology and Loverama. That they were really popular for a minute. And for me, whenever I catch like bits of Bluey, to hear his voice, it's just like having a 90s alt rocker voice a character.
Steve Malkmus is doing the voice of a dad on a cartoon. That's pretty funny.
And they never were crazy big, so people who like Custard of my age are always like, oh, it's good to see him getting that bag. Like, I'm really happy for Dave. Like, this is great, you know?
I'll have to look up Custard. This sounds like...
I'll send you some recs.
Oh yeah, do it. This sounds like a good segment on the show, maybe.
Oh yeah, keep that in your pocket.
A deep dive on Custard.
Honestly, I think a certain sect of your audience would love it. Just like, because so many people know him, that like he would be known as the dad from Bluey forever, more so than Custard. But he has a bunch of ARIA awards, which is our Grammy. Like he is a certified decorated musician.
That's awesome. Wow.
I know you're a Fincher head, and I know you're a Zodiac head specifically. I always wanted to speak to you about, what do you love about that film in particular?
Have we talked about it on the show?
I think I heard a reference once that you own it on VHS. Is that true?
No, I don't have
I just made that up.
I don't have any physical media. Yeah, I mean, it's a great movie. I watched it. For a period of years there, I was watching it every year in the summer. It's a great summer movie if you live in California. That scene at Lake Berryessa, the daytime killing by the lake when he shows up with that black hood, is like that daytime horror is incredible.
I remember seeing that in a cinema when it came out, and just being mortified that what I was seeing was such a peaceful image, but it's the fear in that scene. There's no music. There's no traditional like cheap thrills. It's just like a guy standing there in this kind of ridiculous outfit. But the way Fincher does it and nails it, it's absolute dread.
Yeah, it's kind of how it would be. You just would be having a picnic, and then you would look up and see a guy in a mask and be like, "What's going on here?" And then before you know it, you're in peril. But yeah, I mean, I saw that movie when it came out, and I kind of thought it was okay. it's one of those movies, like a lot of the greats, like they're kind of like a lot of great records are this way too. When the first time you hear them, you're sort of like, okay, I think I understand. It doesn't like hit you over the head with its uh just I guess some stuff comes out of the gate and hits you over the head immediately, but some stuff it's like the achievement is more subtle or something. And then I don't really remember. It's one of those movies that kind of like crept into the culture and
Mm.
it's definitely something you can revisit.
It wasn't a big hit when it came out.
No,
I don't think it received any Oscar nods. It was just kind
yeah, I
of
don't.
this. I know what you mean. It was kind of Robert Downey Jr. wasn't bankable then. It was pre Iron Man, and he was kind of still in his post jail, proving to people he was reliable. I think he took a crazy cut to be on it.
Really. I just like the time I mean, I like how it spans like 20 plus years. I mean, I've lived in California almost my entire adult life. It's a great California movie. It goes from like 68 to like the early 90s. I lived in San Francisco for many years.
Oh
Um,
wow, was the
it,
Zodiac still something people spoke about? Or not at all?
no, it was, yeah, I mean, not like actively, but the fact that he was never caught and it was like this unsolved mystery is what made it endure. I think if he had been caught in like 1972, it would be completely forgotten. But the fact that he was never caught and just kind of disappeared, which is, what the movie explores, like these guys trying to chase him for years and it just kind of like wrecking their lives. This obsession that festers in them.
Yeah, they would just make a podcast now, if it happened now, if those guys didn't have that outlet.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, and it's just like it's just a pleasure to watch. Yeah, I mean, I guess that is definitely my favorite Fincher by a mile.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I agree. And I've also noticed I do like an annual rewatch. It's kind of grim, but like I look forward to certain scenes. I love I love Ruffalo in it. I love his animal cracker. I love the look. I just think it's like, yeah, it's one of those perfect films.
yeah, it's very it takes its time. It's very confident and it's like being digressive and just not having this like epic. It's just very cool that there's no big epic conclusion. There's no shootout.
Yeah, that's kind of this unsatisfying ending, but it's a very satisfying movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's like a novel or something.
I was gonna say you said then that it was such a great California movie. Are
Mm,
there any other movies that you would when you hear California
mm.
and you picture something, what comes to mind as well as Zodiac?
Um, you know that Dustin Hoffman movie Straight Time?
Oh yeah.
He plays a jewel thief, gets out. It's like late 70s. He goes to Beverly Hills. This is a great alley movie. I mean, obviously, there's so many. I mean, come on, the classics, right? Boogie Nights,
Oh yeah.
Lebowski. Um,
Even Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
oh,
something
of
something
course,
newer. Like, yeah.
of course. I mean,
Oh, what do you
God,
think about the Fincher Tarantino sequel?
I mean, it was filming really close to here last summer.
Really? Did you see any sets or
No, but
facades?
I saw some roads closed. I saw, I know that they were filming on Figueroa, um, which is really close by, and I love it. I love like a marquee collab.
Yeah, it's like two Gen X bands doing a double
Yeah.
headline reunion tour or something. It's so strange, but it's definitely made for people of a particular age group, of which
Oh yeah,
I'm sure you're part of, and I'm part of too. But I'm really stoked for it, man.
yeah, yeah. It is sort of like yeah. It's like, well, what's even the analogy? It's
I mean,
like oh,
Finch
it's
is
like
kind of cool, cold, and Tarantino's loud and kind of obnoxious. I'm trying to think of two bands or front people that could fit those.
yeah. It's like Radiohead is Fincher,
Yeah,
and then
Tarantino could be something a bit more, yeah, just
W-
a bit braggy, a bit braggadocious, a bit
Ween.
yeah, a bit goofy, a bit esoteric, but devoted fan base.
Yeah, it's a Ween Radiohead collab. I hope it's good. It's set in 1977 or 8, I think. So it's set
Cool.
because obviously the first movie was set in 69. So I think
Yeah.
it's set like exactly 7 or 8 years after. So Brad Pitt has just naturally aged 7 years.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to see the fashion, the sets. Like I loved how they converted I forget which street it was. Maybe it was Sunset Boulevard, but just for that first film, like just completely the old restaurant signs, it was incredible.
Oh yeah. Yeah. El Coyote. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is my favorite Tarantino, despite being like his newest. I just think just has everything he's kind of led towards in all of his earlier work. It feels like it's present in that film.
Yeah, I saw it twice the year it came out. I have not revisited it. But it's very rare for me to go to a movie theater twice. I was like, I have to go see this again. Yeah, I agree. It's right up there. I mean, I think Pulp it's
I mean, undeniable, kind of untouchable. Yeah.
yeah, actually you sent over some questions and one of them was like a movie that like changed the way you thought about art, I think.
Yeah.
And I like,
Let's go there.
well, I mean, Pulp Fiction is like it's like one of the most basic answers I could possibly come up with, but
Mm.
that's my truth. And so I was a perfect age. I was 17 when that came out, and I
Mm.
really did not grow up like a movie guy. Like, I liked movies, but I was watching, Back to the Future for the 8th time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so my dad and I were in Minnesota at the Mall of America, which is the largest indoor mall in America.
Is that the one with a roller coaster inside it? Or
Yeah,
am
it's
I
like
yeah.
there's a whole indoor thing.
Dude, in school as a like grade school kid, we would hear rumors in Australia of this mall in America that had a roller coaster. So it's worked its way over.
That's so funny. Oh yeah, so we were out there in November of 1994 in Minnesota, and I was looking at colleges. It was like a father-son trip to the Midwest. And like we had seen these colleges, and then I guess we were staying at a hotel near there or something, but we ended up at the Mall of America food court, and then my dad was like, let's go catch a movie. And he was like, and I was like, I saw a poster for Stargate with Kurt Russell, and I was like, that looks tight. And he's like, no, let's go see this movie, Pulp Fiction. I read about it in the New Yorker. It's supposed to be really good. And I was like, okay. So I just walked into Pulp Fiction blind. I had never seen Reservoir Dogs. Like I said, I was not a movie guy.
And Reservoir Dogs was kind of underground and
Yeah.
didn't have that. It was
Yeah.
like a festival film. Yeah.
Yeah, and I never heard of Quentin Tarantino. And I didn't really even understand the like irony of like casting John Travolta, or like
That was lost on me until I grew up and realized it was kind of a Hail Mary move from him. Yeah, I didn't realize he kind of was bricked at that point.
right. So yeah, I just walked into Pulp Fiction blind, and it definitely was like
Damn.
the most memorable movie experience of my life. And what it was like I had never thought about like what a director does or like authorship in a movie. It's like movies are so complete and they're so overwhelming that if when you watch them you're sucked into the story and the characters and the music and
Kind of when you're younger, I think you gravitate towards like actors or actresses as well. Like you think they're the people kind of at the front of the train, so to speak, if a movie is a train,
Right.
and you don't realize because they're the face of it, so it's kind of the first thing you see.
you don't understand. And that was when I saw that movie, I was like, oh, there's like a lot of point of view and like irony and like weird choices with the time jumping around in that movie. And just like I was just like, oh, like it just made me understand that like this is a very pedestrian like observation. But like when you're 17 in 1994 and you walk into Pulp Fiction blind, never having even heard of it, it's sort of like, well, it really like rewired like that someone could have such a strong point of view as an artist and such a strong aesthetic.
I don't think it's pedestrian at all
Yeah.
because, it's such a unique time and place and age. Like you had to be a certain age. It's NC-17. You were literally at the bottom of the rung that you could enter that theater. And there was no internet. You know what I mean? There wasn't this
Yeah.
hype. Like this feels like a very real experience.
Was it NC-17 and I should definitely rate it. There's no NC-17 in in the theaters. There's no NC-17 movies playing at the Mall of America. Let's put it that way.
We have an R-rated here, which is 18 and above. And this is actually a very funny story. That Christmas, 1994, I'm 8, and I know my parents love that movie. They bought the soundtrack. What do you think of the soundtrack? Can you remember hearing that? And yeah,
it's awesome.
One of the best. That surf rock to like Tornadoes and Kool and the Gang. Like, again, kind of like the movie, it's this mishmash of so many genres and kind of not quite ironic, but maybe if handled in lesser hands, it would be kind of obnoxious and ironic, but it's not. It just like, it's the Pulp Fiction soundtrack. But I remember my parents playing that and doing like, mock twist dances and stuff. Like they were like in their 30s or something. It really impacted them. I was like, you know what? I might buy them that movie that I know there's a girl on the front smoking. I might try and buy them that on video for Christmas. And I just went to Kmart as an 8-year-old and they sold me the VHS, no questions asked, of Pulp Fiction. I think my parents were more like, how the hell did you get this? When I gifted it to them for Christmas.
That's really funny. An 8-year-old giving their parents a VHS of Pulp Fiction. That's so funny.
I was trying to like impress them or something.
Wow.
And then I orchestrated a day off school to watch it. I feigned that I was sick and knew that they were both school teachers, so I knew that they wouldn't stay home to look after me. And I was kind of at that age where they trusted me at home. And it was all to watch this 3-hour movie that I knew I wasn't supposed to watch. And different to your experience, but that movie really did shape the way then my film discovery was then to follow. Yeah, super impactful.
Huge, yeah.
Is there like a director, I mean, we're speaking of Fincher and Tarantino, super, super visual guys. Has there ever been a filmmaker or any that come to mind that you feel you have a like kinship with visually with your work?
Yeah, a couple for sure. I mean, God, I was just watching, a friend of mine recommended I watch this Frederick Wiseman documentary called Monrovia, Indiana, which I watched the first 45 minutes of a few weeks ago. And I'll return to it, but he just died. He was like an old American documentarian. He made a ton of movies, but this movie made in 2018, and it's about this small town in Indiana, and the first like 5 or 10 minutes it's just shots of cows and farming equipment and open roads and trucks driving by, but the way the pacing in which he edits it, it's just gripping. It's just wild that he was able to just go shoot footage of farm animals and tractors and barns and buildings and clouds and trees, and just the way he was able to, with the sound, and there's no music either. It's just sort of like the ambient sound. And I was like, wow, this is really like, it's just had an incredible kind of like patience and rhythm to it. And then like maybe 10 minutes in, he starts filming people that are talking, and you get deep into like town zoning meetings and stuff. I don't know. It's really like incredible. He really chose an incredibly kind of mundane subject, but really was able to wrench this like kind of gripping poetry out of it. It was really wild.
Had you seen any of his stuff before? Or?
Not really. I'd heard of his name, and I know his stuff's all over the place. I know he made like a really long documentary about the New York Public Library, which sounds cool. It doesn't sound as interesting to me as like weird small town Indiana, but
I had a guest on 2 episodes ago, and I asked them like, oh, what's the last thing you saw that reminded you why you love movies? And he's like, Wiseman's Hospital. He's like, I just watched it for the first time. And I think it's the New York Public Hospital, or
I think that one's from the 60s. I think that's one of his first. That's one of his first ones.
I've never heard of him, and it's so cool that the last 2 people I've spoken to are like, this guy's got something.
Wiseman's great. And then I guess another guy I've been revisiting slowly is Alexander Payne, who I think is one of the great American directors. I mean, people are always talking about PTA and Fincher and Tarantino, and they should. Those guys are amazing. Those guys have a lot of pizzazz. Alexander Payne is, he's not as like flashy visually, but I think he's just an incredible movie maker, and I like his subject matter, and I like his, yeah, particularly in About Schmidt and Sideways, which are road trip movies, and
Yeah.
Nebraska,
Mm.
another
Yeah,
road
they're all
trip
road
movie.
trip movies.
Yeah,
Even parts of the holdovers are a road trip movie. You know, they go to
yeah.
the city, they visit the dad. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, there is something real road trippy about them all. I've never even
I I just
made that link.
he's so good at that sort of like middle America. It's not like Americana, like ooh nostalgic. It's like it's a very like clear-eyed, straight, like honest take of like contemporary reality.
Yeah,
Um,
especially for an outsider, like someone who's not from America, there is a distinct difference. Even with like, I'm seeing things I'd never see. You know, I'm seeing parts of that country
yeah,
that just aren't really photographed, which I really appreciate.
yeah, and I think his movies are so funny.
Also, like so rare to add a film to the Christmas canon. Like I can't imagine
Hmm.
Christmas now without the holdovers being an option that I throw on. Like that is it's insane to write a certified classic Christmas movie
Mm,
that
true.
stands against like your Home Alones, your
Right.
vacations and stuff. It's such
Right.
a great movie. Great answer. So slept on. Pain is so slept on.
Yeah. I hope he, I don't know how old he is. I think he's in his 60s. I hope he can, I don't know. I hope he has like a prolific streak like
Yeah,
Scorsese
I'd love
has,
that.
just like late
That'd be sick.
period. I want like 3 or 4 more Alexander Payne movies.
There's a quote of yours that I loved, and this is probably from an interview ages ago, where you said that with your work, your paintings, you try to strike this balance that's a little funny, a little sad, and acknowledges the reality we're stuck with, for better or for worse. And I was gonna ask you, does anyone remind you of that? I'm like, oh, I think Alexander Payne is
Yeah.
actually the guy who that's what those movies feel like to me when I reread that quote.
That's funny. Yeah, that's wild. What's that quote from? You just found it online
It, I,
somewhere?
I was doing a bunch of research from a early, maybe 2015, 2013 interview
Huh.
with like an arts journal. You nailed
Interesting.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still in that. I'm still in my same bullshit. But yeah, no, yeah, Payne's great. Oh yeah, you asked like perfect movies,
Yeah, yes, yeah. Hit me.
and the first one that came to mind was The Exorcist.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I was like, there's not that many, but God, that is. I haven't seen that in like maybe 4 or 5 years, but
Yeah. He had a
I,
crazy streak too. Like I
I
think he
know,
followed it up with Sorcerer,
I
which
know.
is like I only saw for the first time maybe 5 years ago, but that's a perfect movie too. Like that's an insane film. French Connection. Like and live it. Oh man, thinking of California movies. I rewatched
Yeah,
To Live and Die in LA a few weeks ago.
yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah,
That Wang Chung score, it's
yeah, yeah.
like it's crazy.
All the Long Beach stuff. No, it's
Yeah. Seeing Will Peterson like bungee jump in full Levi's off a bridge and like
oh
the
yeah.
middle of like the like industrial area of LA. It's fucking crazy. That movie rocks.
I love that bar that they drink at.
Oh, everything about that film rocks. I'm so glad it's being kind of reassessed.
Yeah, no, it's crucial.
It kind of reminds me of like Man's Miami Vice movie. It really taps into that like collateral part of LA where again parts of the country that we don't really see photographed, especially for someone who doesn't live there that would drive through it or pass it by. But it's these super interesting looks at what is essentially the most photographed city in the world, like because of the amount of films that are made there,
Right.
and I just love that To Live and Die in LA and Collateral, they just show these kind of like completely different sides. It rocks.
Yeah. Did you ever see that movie? The I discovered it when after Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out. That one of Tarantino's references was this movie called The Model Shop.
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay, if you're like a LA movie head guy, like it's from the late '60s. I can't even tell you what it's about. It's just some guy like driving around LA doing shit. I don't even remember the plot, but like the the photography and like the way it captures that time and place is
Oh, this looks sick. 1969. There you
yeah,
go. It's
there you
from
go.
69.
Yeah.
A guy driving around. It sounds just like Brad
Yeah, yeah.
Pitt's like arc in that film.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it was like a heavy touchstone.
Sick. Oh man, I'll be watching that. Great rec. There are some great chain restaurants we see earlier iterations of in Hollywood. Once upon a time, Do you, as someone who loves corporate food history and has a penchant for knowledge, is there a chain restaurant that you like the most just purely on an aesthetic level? Like one that pleases you?
Like to like paint like a picture of.
Yeah, or yeah, one you don't mind driving by and you kind of go, damn, that's kind of beautiful.
Um, well, yeah. I mean, right now I'm working on like a 10-foot painting of a red lobster.
Oh
Now,
wow.
I can't say that the building is beautiful, but I'm trying to make the painting beautiful. And I guess that's how I feel about all those chain restaurants is that like they're not hideous, but they're not really beautiful either. They're just sort of so middle of the road. And then it's like, can you make a painting of that? Can you make an interesting painting of that? So I mean, there's some that like attract me more than others, like Taco Bell, for instance, is like I just love that name, Taco Bell.
Do you have a favorite era of Cyan? Like,
Yeah, I'm definitely like that 80s and 90s. I mean, the newer ones just look like shipping containers. Like they're crazy. They're like
oh really?
so minimalist and like sleek. And it's like, what about Mexican food?
Yes.
Makes you think of like purple and black. I guess the challenge to me is sort of like, can I make a painting of that?
Mm.
Tough. And then, I mean, the Olive Garden I've always thought was really funny.
Oh yeah. The name, the look, just
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I think that's like I think it's like the power of the name and the brand and the presence the brand has in the culture is like really important to the meaning of the painting and like or like some just don't hit that hard where it's like not as interesting.
Is this Red Lobster a particular one? Like, is it one that you drove past or walked past?
Yeah, it's the Red Lobster in like this giant shopping center near Tucson, Arizona. So it's dynamic. I mean, there's like huge mountain range behind it, the Catalina mountain range, and
Oh wow.
it's just like this big Red Lobster with like the signage, the big red lobster, and all of like there's like a Palo Verde tree like with the yellow blooming flowers in the spring. There's a bunch of like landscape shrubs in different states. I'm kind of making up the flowers as I go, which is very fun.
Cool. Is this one that
Um,
you knew about before you
no,
I guess no, you just happened to perchance drive past it, walk
I
past
did a
it,
road trip to Arizona like 2 years ago to like shoot pictures and just drive around and see what I could find. I went to Phoenix, I went to Tucson, and then a buddy of mine that lives in Tucson was like, I know where we should go. We like drove like, I think south of the city about 15, 20
Mm.
minutes. And he's like, there's a giant shopping center down here with like every conceivable chain restaurant. And it just like had snowed the night before.
Oh sick.
So there was like a dusting of snow on the mountains and like it was things were popping off. Sometimes you go out and shoot pictures or you're out there looking for pictures. You're trying to
Mm.
find something that is engaging and surprising and just not happening. The light is dead. You're just not finding anything. And sometimes you go out and you just like strike gold.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. I can't wait to see a 10 foot. That's massive. Is that height? That's
It's
crazy.
7 feet tall. It's
Oh,
seven
seven.
feet
Yeah.
by 10 feet wide.
Amazing. Have you ever painted a cinema or a video store? Or,
I've done Blockbuster. I did about 20 years ago. It was in 2005 actually, when it was like the writing was on the wall for Blockbuster. It was already like YouTube wasn't quite out yet, but it was like
Netflix was sending DVD. You could like
right.
get postage. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess yeah, Netflix was doing DVDs and it was like the writing was on the wall with like, okay, people will eventually be watching movies on their computers. Like that was obvious. And it was like and with the paintings of chain restaurants and corporate retail, it's to me it's like the reason I paint them is that like they're so ubiquitous and they're characteristic of the time and place we live in. Like they're so defining of our time.
And there's someone romanticized, like there's no record of them outside of probably some of your paintings. You know, these things are
Yeah,
demolished, they're rebuilt, like
right.
there's no song or
Yeah.
dance. It's just kind of strictly business.
Yeah, they don't stand for more than a few decades. I mean, they're definitely, yeah, you're not going to find many 50-year-old Office Depots. So, but anyway, so then I made 9 paintings of Black. I made like each
Oh
painting
wow.
was 2 by 2 feet. and I just Google image searched Blockbuster Video. Normally I go out and like to shoot my own stuff. I like to gather my own source material just because I'm trying to find like a poetic vantage point to capture these things with. But with the Blockbuster Video series, it was just Google image search Blockbuster Video and then just make these very simplified acrylic paintings of 9 different Blockbuster Video locations. I forget the title of the piece. It was like Blockbuster Video, like 1985 to 2009. Like I was predicting what year it would go under eventually. So yeah, I did a bunch of Blockbuster videos. And actually, check this out. Hold on one sec.
Yeah, hit me.
I guess this is bad radio, but it's just for your benefit.
No, this is great.
There's a picture. So
oh shit,
it's a black and white photograph I took of a Blockbuster Video in Portland, Oregon in 2002, probably.
Yeah.
I was out. This is kind of the beginning of my like journey as an artist, where I was delivering pizza for Papa John's, and then there was like I worked on this.
The Papa John's years, yeah.
Yeah. I worked on a strip that was like Wendy's and McDonald's and all this stuff, and there was a Blockbuster Video, and I was interested in black and white photography, so I started shooting all of those, the Wendy's and the McDonald's and the Blockbuster Video at night, like in the evening, as the sun is fading, and I forgot about these, and then I met a guy a few years ago that has a dark room, so this is actually he printed this for me. It's not like a digital scan and a inkjet print. It's like he printed this silver gelatin style in his dark room. Anyway, yeah, it's like I kind of forgotten about this, but then I found it a few years ago, and I was like, I love that Blockbuster Video photo, but like the fans at home can't see it. But
no, we'll do our best to describe. I think we did a great job describing it. Have you seen Alex Ross Perry, the filmmaker, his film Video Heaven? He made the Pavements movie like last year.
Yeah, I haven't seen Video Heaven. His stuff's kind of tough.
This one's like the death of video stores. It's the life and death. The whole film is constructed with footage from television and movies, scenes that are just set in video stores while he kind of charts. It's on the Criterion Channel at the moment. It's kind of, I saw it at a film festival. It's quite long, but it's really sick. It kind of is like starts off as like VHS is this hobbyist product, but then it turned into this phenomenon in the 90s with Blockbuster and
it's all edited together footage.
Yeah, it's like he's sampling like film and television, but Maya Hawke, Ethan Hawke's daughter, is the narrator of the film.
Oh wow!
And it's just completely made up of footage from video stores. It's so interesting.
It sounds like LA plays itself.
It's the closest thing, and I was kind of paraphrasing that film when I said it's the most photographed city, which is like his whole his whole hypothesis for LA plays itself. It is like a spiritual sequel to that.
Cool.
Except with a less droll voice.
Right. What's it called?
Video Heaven. It's out on Criterion Channel to stream. But I saw that in a festival last year, and my first job was a video store at that era when it was like the beginning of the end, where people were watching movies on iPods and people were downloading movies, and you were like, oh, this isn't going to be around for long. But yeah, it's kind of beautiful. It's this great monument to this thing that used to be so important to so many people that just doesn't exist anymore.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, really short window.
Hard recommend.
Okay. I got Custard and I got Video Heaven.
I'm gonna send you a Custard playlist. I'm gonna pick the best shit. You're obviously back on music then with Custard. You're a lover of the tasteful palette of the 70s and the sound. Do you think that translates to other mediums? Is it music? Is it is that palette agnostic? Does it stick to movies? Do you think?
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, the 70s movies definitely have like a palette, right? I mean, every era has a palette,
Yeah. I think so. There's a warmness. There's a warmness to the 70s.
Yeah.
Not just audio, but I do see that warmness where I find a lot of things photographed now are just quite cold and flat.
Right. The digital is definitely. Yeah, I've been shooting 35 millimeter film again. Still camera. Just because I used to shoot film and then I stopped for 20 years and then I was like, because there's like a warmth to it. And there's just a much different palette. It's just the way it renders light and trees and shadows is just so much different that the digital is too detailed. And I think that holds true to movies too. I mean,
I mean, you look at The Exorcist, you look at anything, you look at
Yeah.
Coppola, Scorsese. There is a tasteful palette there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I don't know what's the 80s palette. I mean, kind of like,
I see 80s as kind of. I mean, I always think of technology helps dictates looks always, and obviously
yeah.
audio, any medium. And but the 80s to me is like the introduction of video and VHS. So
Yeah, but not the movies. I mean, like we watched like it's actually kind of interesting to watch 80s movies now that they've been transferred. Like, because when we first saw whatever Michael Mann's Thief on like videotape in like 1991,
mm,
like it looked like shit.
yeah,
And
no
then you
color,
see,
it's flat, it's gray. But then you watch it on the 4K or the Blu-ray, and you're like,
yeah,
oh my god.
or you just watch it on Amazon or whatever. You just stream it on Netflix or whatever. It looks amazing.
80s is kind of bright, I think. I think like
Yeah.
80s is like very big. I think like bright, like you mentioned Die Hard before, Back to the Future. These are like very
Mm-hmm.
classical looking movies. You know what I mean? They're not fancy. They're not trying to create a dark and edgy early Fincher 90s thing. Like they are quite, it's kind of reflective of the 80s. That's this
Yeah.
weird fake optimism that I see. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of classic. It's kind of also a reaction to the dirty kind of not the dirty, but the kind of dusty palette of the 70s, I see. Like it's big, it's expensive looking.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you, Jake, you tweeted on December 22nd, 2024. Who else is stoked for Den of Thieves 2? Now hang on. Now it's my turn for a prop. This is a
Oh, look at you.
very I just put on a Den of Thieves 2 cap. This is a very pro Den of Thieves podcast.
Oh, great. Love it.
Did you watch it? Did it live up to your
Oh my
standards?
God, dude.
Tell me
We
about the
had
Den experience.
we had the best night. So it came out. So when was that tweet? Late 24.
And
So
I think it
yeah.
came out early January in 2025.
So we ended up going. So my wife and I and my friends Nick and Amantha and their 14-year-old son Max, we ended up going to this theater in Pasadena on my birthday
Oh,
called
dude.
called iPick, and it's one of those places where you can like order nachos and beers and stuff. And we were the only people in the theater, so
Dude.
we had the run of the place.
You, Big Nick, Ice Cube son, just
Yeah,
the
dude.
best shit.
Just eating nachos, slamming IPAs.
As you know what I was that I only discovered Den of Thieves like last year, the first one. It didn't really
Okay.
translate or make it to its cool purgatory constantly playing on cable state, which is why I know it got a really big following in the States. But I watched that movie like 6 times last year. Anytime I was out with
Wow.
buddies drinking, I'd
Mhm.
be like, guys, come back to mine. Let's get a 6-pack. We're watching Den. And I was like Den pilling people. I don't know what it was about that movie, but it spoke to me on a level that I haven't been spoken to since like Point Break or something. You know what I mean? It's just like, just bros doing heists, kind of in love with one another, but also trying to catch one another. It's primal.
It's way better than it should be because there's a million movies that are trying to rip off Heat or whatever. Wait, who? Someone was someone online or some podcast was calling it Heat for dumb guys.
Yeah, I think the Ringer or Bill Simmons is like meathead.
Oh, really?
Meathead hate or something. I thought of it more as like Monster Energy hate because everyone's
Okay,
like
yeah.
ripped and super buff and like strong and kind of like wears shitty clothes, and so I kind of they all
Yeah.
look like they're like dads that go to the first movie. They look like they go to like pop punk reunion shows.
No, it's like flat brim, like South Bay, SoCal guys. No, I mean, it was filmed in Atlanta, which is heartbreaking because you could say it's a great LA movie, but you can't really.
No, but who the hell wears like a leather jacket in the middle of summer like Big Nick does? You know what I mean? Like the tells are there.
Oh, no, you'll see. It's kind of indeterminate what season that movie is set in. That's not in the LA is
The
cold.
kids in school. The kids in school. We know that much because
Yeah.
he goes to the fence to have a heartbreaking conversation. So yeah,
and that movie, LA has like cool nights, cool mornings.
that's true.
And
That's
he's
true.
like driving back at like 5 a.m. listening to Everlast.
No notes. That is like the greatest character. Like you've told me everything about that character
Yeah.
blasting Everlast at 4 a.m. after having an affair.
Yeah, no, I mean, just it really is lightning in a bottle. I mean, we were hanging out with, maybe it was like New Year's or something last year, with a bunch of people like at an Airbnb, and we somehow because my wife is also a big Den of Thieves fan,
Because
and
she's a filmmaker, isn't
she
she?
is, yeah, she's a
Hannah.
filmmaker. Yep, Hannah.
That's awesome. It's so
She,
good to know that Den transcends the industry. You know what I mean? Like for fans of film, but also makers of film, there is something there.
yeah, but we threw it on for a bunch of other like film people, and it didn't. I don't think it landed.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's not for everyone.
Not even the Benny Hanna scene. Not even that.
Yeah, I think it was like maybe a little too red meat, a little too much
Yeah.
red meat. It's not for everyone.
I guess it is an acquired taste. Like there are certain people I wouldn't show, but I have managed to convert a bunch of people to Dan, and I really liked too. I thought it was kind of quite classy. The high scene was sick. That diamond exchange,
Right.
like very, very, very detailed. I know they worked with actual diamond heist crews to like make sure it was super realistic, and I kind of like that it was some European Mediterranean flair. You know, I like that they moved it from Atlanta/LA to there, and the Den formula still worked for me.
Yeah, and I like the double cross at the end.
So sick, so sick. M83 needle drop. He's driving away. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff. I have a suggestion which I've shared before on this show, but it makes perfect sense given how this conversation started. I would really like to campaign for Russell Crowe to play Big Nick's dad in a third entry.
Dad, what are they, like 10 years apart?
Maybe older brother.
Half brother?
Guy who taught him everything. Something like that. I just see there's some kind of
I would love
contemporary Crow with Gerard Butler. Like they're
Dude.
kind of birds of a feather.
Absolutely. Those guys, I mean, yeah, they're both like really burly, like barrel chested, like big drinkers. Are you into like any of these like late period Crow? Like, have you seen Unhinged?
Yeah, Unhinged is crazy good. I
Dude,
thought it was great.
Or dude, Land of Bad?
I haven't seen Land of Bad. What's that
Dude,
one?
Land of Bad is great. It's Russell Crowe plays a drone operator in Vegas.
Oh, I know the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. Sick.
It's so heavy because it's like these other, I forget where they're, it's like, you know, just brutal kind of American war movie. Like there's like, I forget where they are. Like, it doesn't even matter. They're in the Middle East or Southeast Asia or something. But like it's like shots of like Russell Crowe in like a grocery store, like picking out like browsing like the frozen pizza section. And then he's like on his phone, like texting with these dudes who are like
bombing schools or something.
or just about to die, like just in imminent danger. And it's just sort of like the disconnect. And he's just like this, like, it's like Fat Crow mode.
So sick.
Fat Crow, like just it's like sitting for most of the movie, just in this like dark drone operating space. And
He taps into that in Nuremberg. I loved how like for most scenes he's lying down or sitting down. Zero walking in that film. Just great.
I watched that on a plane coming back recently.
Perfect plane movie. Plane movie.
I mean, he's always great. I thought Rami Malek was super weird as always. Like smiling.
I can't gel with him.
I don't understand. I guess I was trying to think about it and I was like, yeah, it's like, what is going on with like people using him in movies? I guess he does have a very particular presence.
Yeah, he has like let's be honest, he looks kind of weird and he acts kind of weird.
He just kept smiling.
It's not charming like Paul Dano. Like Paul Dano, I think is a kind of, you know, an odder looking guy, not a leading man, but he's such a good actor. Whereas I find Malik is just kind of, he's just there to be weird. And he doesn't really, he's so one note. But yeah, the smiling is weird.
Yeah, I get the character was trying to win over the Goring character, but kind of a cool movie. I didn't know anything about that.
Crow was sick as well. Like he was such a...
Of course.
Late Day Crow is great. I kind of have a theory that when you win an Oscar for your field when you're quite young, you can either try to continue to chase that or you can just make super rogue choices. And I see Rusty is kind of that. He's in that camp. Kind of Nicolas Cage as well. You know what I mean? They're awarded quite young.
What was like the last kind of prestigious Russell Crowe movie that people
I
took
mean,
super
Nuremberg
serious?
would be it, but I'm trying to think. Was it like,
I don't think people took
yeah,
Nuremberg that seriously. You know what I'm
they're
saying?
like, yeah, they're like, it's
Like
Fat
American
Crow.
Gangster.
I think it was Gangster.
Or-
I think it was, oh, The Nice Guys, maybe.
Right.
Even though it wasn't prestigious, but that was like,
People like that movie.
yeah, but I'd say it's Gangster, or yeah, I'd say that was it, where he's kind of acting.
310 to Yuma.
Oh, yeah.
Same era.
Yeah. He was, yeah, that's a sick movie. That's a good, like, Den adjacent, Western Den.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'd love to see him in like a really great director's, you know, like Russell Crowe is the lead in like a
PTA or a Scorsese. Yeah. It's bizarre he hasn't worked with Tarantino, because I know he loves Rusty.
Dude, Russell Crowe is the lead in an Alexander Payne movie. Now we're talking.
Just as a disheveled, divorced dad having to do some mundane road trip for his son going to college or something.
Some guy's weird uncle.
Yeah, late stage Crow rocks, and I'm glad that you also subscribe to that theory. But yeah, I think Den 3 would be such a perfect no-brainer for him.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I'd like them to jump around too. You know, we've had, like you said, the kind of meathead Heat version, the LA film. We've had the European heist. I'd like to see maybe like Hong Kong, him in Hong Kong action, John Woo inspired neon lights. I see that now that they're going global.
Wait, are they making Den 3?
Oh yeah, dude. It was announced like a week after Den 2 because of how successful Den 2 was.
I think I'm gonna disagree with you slightly. I think they need to go back to the States. Don't go global.
Should we go New York? Kind of done. Chicago. I don't know. Maybe real LA is LA.
Yeah, or maybe like a weird Texas movie or something. I don't know. Florida, dude. Florida would be tight.
Florida would be like, yeah, tap into that Miami Vice shit. Yeah, Big Nick's born to born to live in Florida, or at least wear a floral shirt and white pants while stealing something. No, that's actually.
I just don't want them to get over their skis. I think meat and potatoes, back to basics.
You don't want them to make the same mistake the Fast and Furious films did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those are unwatchable. I can't.
Where like the first one's LA, they're stealing DVD players. The sixth one, they're driving through skyscrapers in Abu Dhabi, and you're just like, oh, okay. No, they should learn from the den heads need to learn from that.
Yeah.
You're obviously in Richard Pitch's a Grateful Dead cover band, and the Dead come up a lot on Time Crisis. How do you feel about that rumored Scorsese, Jonah Hill, Grateful Dead biopic, and I guess as an extension, biopics in general? Like, how does that make you feel?
I mean, I think it would have been awesome. I know the guy that wrote the screenplay.
Oh, sick.
And it would have been awesome. So it's a missed opportunity.
So it's done.
I don't know. I have no inside knowledge. I just, as far as I know, I guess inevitably it would probably disappoint, because movies about like artists and musicians are like, they're tough, right?
Yeah. Are there any you like? Is there like a standard with like, how did you feel about the Chalamet Dylan movie as a Dylan? It was
cool.
Head?
It was fine.
Yeah. Do you think they did that right by just picking a super precise moment as opposed to this all-encompassing type of multi-decade? Yeah.
Impossible. No, that was cool. I mean, I remember we watched it and I was like, wow, that was like the most normal movie I've seen in a long time. It was exceedingly normal. But maybe that's cool. Like, it just play it straight, fastball down the middle, like Dylan and like Greenwich Village and 62 to 65 and he plugs in. I mean,
writes itself. Yeah.
It was cool. And like, I'm not going to revisit it, but like, it was cool. I mean, trying to think, like, I remember really like its old movie, but Coal Miner's Daughter was really cool.
Oh yeah.
About Loretta Lynn.
Yeah.
There's a movie, it's not about a real musician, but it's called Tender Mercies with Robert Duvall. Plays like a country, it's from the early mid 80s. He plays like a country, kind of like it's been years since I've seen it, so maybe I'm misspeaking, but kind of like a Townes Van Sant kind of guy, like a kind of an obscure. It's fictional, so it's, I mean, that doesn't count. But it's like a great movie about a musician. It's tough, huh? So yeah, I mean, as awesome and exciting as a dead Scorsese movie with Johnny Hill would be, like, it's just it's hard.
I like the fictional route. Like I do think my favorite Coen Brothers movie is maybe Llewellyn Davis, and I love
Uh-huh.
the fact that is a fictional character that
Mm-hmm.
obviously takes liberties with members and active participants of that Greenwich Village era. But I do love that it can't really upset you because
Yeah.
it is fictional. It's not going to like make a plot change for convenience. And while he can interact with Dylan and stuff like that, which he kind of does,
That
I
last
think that's
scene
like so good,
is so cool.
S- so cool, such a good film. Yeah. I mean, man, what do you think of the Pat Garrett, Billy the Kid, Dylan turn? Do you think he was? I love the soundtrack.
I don't know if I've ever actually even seen that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Knocking on Heaven's Door is
Iconic. He
an
plays kind of
all-timer.
like a miscreant. He's kind of like a bad dude in it. It's kind of cheeky.
Right.
I kind of Dylan maxed when the film came out. I kind of wrote a piece about like here are the 10 films, like
Mm.
all the stuff he'd done over the decades, and I'd never seen it either. But
Did you like the Todd Haynes Dylan movie?
oh yeah. I got into Dylan because of the Scorsese doc, the No Direction Home, when I was like 20.
Mm-hmm.
I was like a Beatles kid, and then obviously Dylan is such a supporting character in their decade together, and
Sure.
always responsible for some of the coolest, turns and plot twists in the Beatles canon, I think, as a kid. So I kind of knew about him adjacently, but then when that Scorsese doc came out, I watched that and man, I watched that. And then I was like hook, line, and sinker, like 20 and
Mm.
obsessed with Bob Dylan. And then the Todd Haynes film came out maybe like a year later.
Mm.
And yeah, I understood it to be like a, quite a accurate translation of the many faces of Bob Dylan. Like again, I probably wouldn't return to it for fun, but it is more memorable than your traditional biopics, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like it's cool he took a swing at it, but it's also like just doesn't work. It's tough to like I want like mad respect for, and like the cast he assembled is like
Oh
insane.
yeah, Heath Ledger, Kate Blanchett, like
Bale,
Christian Bale. It's insane. It's
Richard
crazy.
Richard Gere.
Yeah, that's right. Richard Gere's like Desire era or something, right? He's like
Well, he
walking
plays like a
around.
weird like
Or is he like Pat Garrity or
yeah,
something?
it's
He's kind
like
of a cowboy.
yeah, exactly. It's like a 19th
Yeah.
century character.
It's so weird. It's so
Yeah,
strange.
it doesn't work.
And I watched some whack one that Dylan did with Larry Charles, the like
All
co-creator
right,
of Curb, where he kind of plays. Have you seen that one? It's like this
I actually haven't.
comedy farce.
Yeah, Masked and Anonymous. Yeah,
Masked and Anonymous. It's crazy. So worth watching if you're ever curious. Like, not if you want to watch a great film that's going to stick with you, but just
right.
there's so many famous people in it. It's bizarre. Like it almost feels like an SNL episode or something. It's just like Bob meandering through different sets and different places, but there'll be like someone famous interacting with him in a bit part. It's so strange.
Okay, we were talking about Todd Haynes. I thought of another fantastic LA movie, which is my favorite movie of his, Safe.
Oh, so good. Yeah. I saw it in a store the other day with a friend and I was like, have you seen Safe? What do you love about Safe?
I watched it last year for the second. I watched it a long time ago, and then I revisited it last year. It's almost like kind of what I was talking about with like the Frederick Wiseman doc. It's like very quiet, but there's just like a wonderful like rhythm to it. There's the way he sets up and composes the shots is so like rich. I mean, like, and it's just a lot of just like this woman alone in this like house in the San Fernando Valley with wall-to-wall carpeting, and she's just going out of her mind with paranoia or real health problems. I like you don't really know either.
Yeah. And it's kind of
You
not, it's not the point, It's
Yeah, and it's
like,
like she could have a medical disorder, or she could just be being neurotic. Probably both. And the sound, like the way she'd be getting lunch, like getting like a salad with her friend, and like they're just like classic LA. They're just at a restaurant outside, right next to like a 4-lane, like right next to like Ventura Boulevard or something.
Yeah, the sound design's so good.
And it's just like cars, like trucks idling, and just like it's like it gets into that like really like the din of like that LA can have in parts, where it's like just thousands of cars, just like the roar of that in the background. And then I also just like, it was made in the 90s, I guess. It was set in like the 80s. It was set in like 87 or something. And with her like obsession with like toxins in the environment and like clean food, it just like foreshadowed general neuroses in our culture. And I'm not saying that those are like things that are like you shouldn't be neurotic about. I mean, everyone has to like come to their own conclusions, but like just general like ambient anxiety we have about like the environment, whether it's the air, the water, the food, like the climate changing, whatever it is, like there's just, it really like is kind of a deep movie.
Oh, for sure. And one that's like for better or for worse, maybe more relevant now than when it came
That's
out.
what was so cool about it. I was like, God damn, he was tapping into something like decades before it would really come to full bloom.
Totally. My favorite Haynes for sure. I thought I would wrap things up by combining two of my I guess time crisis-esque. I'm trying to think of the way to phrase this. Two kind of time crisis-esque ideas melded into one. Something I once loved that you guys spoke about was the notion of spirit movies, which is movies from when you were 10, most popular movie at the time, if that's your spirit movie or not. And I thought I'd combine that with the you end all episodes with usually a top 5 where, there's a random year, a random week, a random month. So what I got here, I found the 5 spirit movies for yourself, the top 5. And I just wanted to read out any titles to see if any of them.
So this is when I was 10?
This is when you were 10. These are the top 5 films.
So this is February of 87.
February of 87. Yeah,
wow.
I tracked them down on a Box Office Mojo. So the first one, Eddie Murphy and the Golden Child. I haven't seen it. Does that mean anything to you?
Yes, I remember loving it. It's like him coming off the Beverly Hills Cop movies and then just kind of keep that trucking of just like high energy. I don't even know I don't think he's a cop in that movie. I don't remember what. It's like an action comedy. That's what I'm trying to say. It's an 80s action comedy with Eddie Murphy. I remember loving it.
So that's number 5. Number 4 is Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home, another California movie, I guess. Does that mean anything to you?
Oh, was that the Whales? That one?
That's the San Francisco one, the Whales.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean a whole lot. I saw it. I remember there's a scene on a bus when like there's like a guy, like a punk guy with like a mohawk, and he has like the boombox and he's bothering everyone, and Spock just goes and just like puts him to sleep.
There's that iconic shot of like Spock and Kirk just standing out the front in like crazy space outfits and out the front of the Golden Gate Bridge. It looks so surreal.
Wow.
So that's number 4. Number 3, I mean, this one's kind of fitting. Crocodile Dundee.
Nice. That is fitting. Don't have much to say.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Again, the cultural cringe that I've inherited from that film as someone born after that film. Born before it. It's something we don't like to be associated with.
Was that an Australian production or was?
I think it was a joint. I mean, obviously Paul Hogan and the character is Australian. It is, it looks like it is. Peter Feynman is the filmmaker. He is an Australian television. Yeah, so Paul Hogan used to have this like variety show. He was like he hosted like a Tonight Show type thing, a comedy show. And then the guy he did that show with, he made Croc Dundee with.
Was Crocodile Dundee like a pre-existing character? Like,
no.
Okay.
I don't think so. From what I can understand,
it wasn't like the Blues Brothers, right? Okay,
it wasn't Blues Brothers or Wayne's World, but no, it was just kind of like let's go to America. So that's number 3. Number 2 is one I'd never heard of: Outrageous Fortune with Shelley Long and Bette Midler.
Never heard of it. Oh, it's a Bette Midler. Okay, well, the Bette Midler movies are just sort of not catnip for 10-year-old boys.
No. I mean, the poster looks kind of sick. The art's kind of great. It's a painted. They're kind of hanging from a cliff, and it's looking down on them, and there are two crashed cars underneath that looks like they've jumped in out of before.
It sounds like another action comedy.
The 80s did produce a bunch, and look, number one's kind of dark, but I do think it makes sense for its placement. Platoon.
Oh, wow. Very cool. Love Oliver Stone.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the theory kind of checks out that these are slightly spirit films, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, wow. That's one of the real deal Vietnam movies. And yeah, Oliver Stone rocks. I really like him.
Did you see his JFK documentary he made a couple of years ago? Like, he's still...
I did, and I can't say I remember it. I mean, the Kennedy assassination is like something that's, very fascinating.
Very Zodiac adjacent, like as a film as well.
Yeah,
JFK.
The film you're totally right. JFK, and yeah, it's like this fruitless pursuit of the truth that we'll never know. But the Kennedy stuff, I mean, there's just so much, especially the last few years. It's like Trump's going to release the Kennedy files, and he does, and it's sort of like it's all as a blur at this point. I'm just sort of like, I watched the Oliver Stone doc, and it was like, I guess the CIA knew who Lee Harvey Oswald was. Initially they were like, we don't know who this guy is. He's just some guy that just decided to shoot the president. And they're like, so they think in that doc, they knew who he was. But again, it's not like there's gonna be some document that's like, Alan Dulles put out a hit on Kennedy. Like it's so, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that's like in one ear, out the other. There's just so much Kennedy stuff for our entire lives. Is that something people in Australia are interested in? The JFK assassination?
For sure. It's like one of the most, it is the greatest mystery of last century. I mean, it kind of also comes hand in hand, I guess, for me, viewing these things through film and stories with, funnily enough, the Manson stuff. They're both in the 60s, one kind of at the middle, one at the end, and there's shadowy questions about government being aware of these figures, obviously very different outcomes and different paths. But yeah, we do have I think it's just a human fascination for everything's so solved now. If something happened, we would probably know within 5 days why it happened. You know what I mean? Information is so readily shared, and everything, it feels so much more documented, I guess.
Right. If the Kennedy assassination happened now,
yeah, we'd know. It's like the Luigi, we knew who shot that guy.
The weird thing about the Luigi story is he could have gotten away if he wasn't crazy. Like, he clearly wanted to get caught. He just drove to Pennsylvania and sat in a McDonald's. Because it took like 4 or 5 days for them to find him, and like, if he was like, whatever, how we picture it in the movies, like an assassin, he could have just driven to JFK and gotten on a flight to Venezuela, and they would have had no idea who did it. It's like, yeah, it's so. It's weird to me that he could have gotten away with it. Because I was going to say, with the Kennedy assassination, it's like now there'd be like a trillion cell phone videos, and
totally, everyone would have an angle. Everyone would know. It would be crazy. But it's that unknown, undocumented period where we just will never really know. And I think that's what drives it.
Yeah.
But hey, good news is maybe in 20 years, the contemporary, Fincher of the time could do a Zodiac-esque Luigi movie. I mean, that's always.
But there's no mystery.
I mean, we don't know. Maybe we're in the thick of it,
Yes, true.
Maybe this is just the beginning of the Luigi Mangione case. Jake, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you.
You too, man.
Thank you so much for coming on. I wanted to leave with one more, actually. Is there a film you think in existence that anyone could watch to help them understand your work?
Oh, geez. Fast Food Nation.
Sick. Richard Linklater?
Yes. Greg Kinnear plays a hapless
That's right.
middle management corporate guy for a fictitious burger chain. There's shit in the meat, Don. I've seen that movie like 5 times, which is a lot for me. It's not like an outstanding achievement in cinema, but it really does. I really like what a wide net it casts. It goes from California to from like the Orange County, like corporate headquarters.
The like abattoir. I always remember that abattoir scene at the end, which I think Avril Lavigne is in. I think she was acting.
Yeah, she's
in
in
that
it. She
film.
plays like,
Yeah.
she and Paul Dano play like fast food employees. And then like, it goes out to like the cattle ranches. It goes to like the slaughterhouse. Bobby Cannavale plays like a really evil slaughterhouse manager. There's an incredible Bruce Willis cameo where he's just like chugging an IPA and eating a hamburger and just telling Greg Kinnear like how it works. He's just like breaking it down, like, bro, you don't even know, dude. Like, let me tell you the stone cold truth about this industry. And,
Dude, what a great pull. That's such a good pull.
Oh, Ethan Hawke's in it. Patricia Arquette plays like a PetSmart employee, and Ethan Hawke's like the cool like bohemian uncle. He's like, why are you wearing these uniforms, man? Like, what's up with these uniforms?
And kind of cool that it's like a nonfiction book.
Yeah,
and then I love that it's kind of a fictional script based, inspired by it. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's a cool movie. It's a great landscape movie and it's a great culture movie. And it's Greg Kinnear's really funny in it. Like he's always really
great.
funny.
Kinnear rocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's such a great answer. Look, thanks so much for your time. Where can people find you if they want more Longstreth?
Instagram, Jake Longstreth. Yeah.
Sick. And if you don't already, if you're listening to this, you should be listening already, but Time Crisis, fortnightly, I believe.
Every other week.
Loved the new Hornsby app.
Yes, thank you.
Hornsby rocks, man. He's my favorite TC adjacent universe. Yeah, whenever he comes on, I just love his energy and his stories. He's great.
He's a really cool guy.